Southern California, welcome to the Dino and Nelson Show, Saturday afternoons from 5 to 6 p.m. and Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Money Radio 1150 AM KTLK. Do you own a home or have plans to in the future? You'll get all the information you need to know about what's happening in the local real estate market and how to take advantage of that knowledge. How to approach home ownership or mortgage financing with design, vision, and focus, as well as accurate information. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, listen to Real Estate Radio with Dino and Nelson Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. right here on Money Radio KTLK AM 1150.
This next segment, we're bringing on Patricia Beltran from My Real Estate Plaza. And this next segment is brought to you by Title 365, providing instant access and live status to your real estate transactions.
This is really innovative what Title 365 is doing. They're taking their web platform and bringing the real estate transactions so people don't need to call somebody to talk to somebody to talk to somebody on the status of how their transaction's progressing. Everything's live. They can go in and see exact status. They can review documents. It's really revolutionary. I mean, it's a fabulous platform.
No, I get that. I mean, when you're dealing with, I guess, subpar loan officers, and they don't return phone calls to the clients and all that. You'd attest to this story, right? Because everybody's calling, you just don't pick up the phone. So you're expecting something like Title 365 to solve all your problems so the clients don't have to call you, right?
This is where they turn your mic off. Yeah, this is good stuff. So it's a common problem, especially with the pandemonium. We were talking about before the show how our industry, the mortgage industry at large, is used to accommodating a vibrant purchase market, and it's used to accommodating a refinance cycle. But right now we have both going on and just running huge volumes of business activity. And so information and just the progress of how your transaction is going, it's getting difficult for people.
No, you're absolutely right. In last refi boom, I remember the mortgage industry was so far behind in the technology section of it.
Right.
We were faxing locks in. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing. And then we had to save our little fax copy to make sure it got in before 3 p.m. because the bank on the other end was losing them all because they couldn't keep up with anything.
And that doesn't date how old you are, do you know? Hey, do you know we have Patricia Beltran on right here with us?
How you doing, Patricia?
There we go.
I'm doing wonderful.
Are you excited about this?
Yeah, I am. First time.
You know, it's interesting. We're looking at the market stats in your area. You're in the Granada Hills area predominantly, correct?
Right.
And the market is on fire, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Multiple offers on every listing, whether it's a short sale, an REO, or a standard sale. Multiple offers, anywhere from 6 to 30.
Do people 6 to 30? That's incredible. Do people ask you how to compete with multiple offers? I mean, that would seem like it's a question that's coming up across the board and saying, "Listen, I'm well qualified, but how do I stand out against 30 other offers, or how do I stand out with cash offers?"
Well, it really depends on the agent. The more experienced, the more well prepared that the agent is, the more likelihood that your offer is going to get accepted. Because you can have a fabulous offer where it's very strong, but it's not coming across from the agent how strong it is, then they're going to pick another offer.
Sure. And this is what the sellers want, Dino, is if they're going to get into escrow, they simply want an assurance that the transaction is going to close on time.
Strong offer.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% because there's so many agents that they're not powerful agents. They're not business people.
Right.
And anybody can make an offer, right? You just fill out the forms and it's done. But when you have more than 2 offers, you got to become the best offer. And sometimes it's not just the offer price, right? It's the whole
not
thing.
at all. That's just minimal, actually, the price. You have to put a full complete package together. Complete package meaning tell the seller what your buyer's about. Explain why they're coming in with 3.5% or 20%. Tell them why they love the area. Tell them how much they're going to take care of their home for them.
Paint a story.
I was just asking that. I was just wondering that, while you're talking about that, in terms of how much of just the family's personal information that you share, and you know that it's a husband and wife, a mom and dad that want to raise their kids in this home. Does that influence the seller?
I believe it does. I believe it has a huge impact. I've had not only once but several transactions where I was competing against 30 other offers and my offer was chosen. Now, it could have been for any reason, you know, that I was on the phone making sure that the listing agent received my offer, or just that every form was signed where it's supposed to be signed, and you cross all your T's and dot your I's, and it's all a whole package together.
Well, and I think you're cutting yourself short. There's many times in my experience where, again, multiple offers, when an offer is accepted, many times it's because the listing agent knows you, is comfortable with you, and knows that you don't play in the arena of throwing stuff against the wall.
Right.
If you're going to make an offer, it's the real deal, and you're only working with real buyers, and that deal is going to close. And
meaning that you're dealing with a professional.
Yeah.
And example, if I have a listing and I know the agent that's making the offer, and I know he's a professional or she's a professional, most definitely, even if that offer is a little bit lower than what other offers are offering, you tend to go there because of the professionalism of the other person.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Are you finding, we're hearing stories across the Southland of low inventories. I looked on, I'm hoping my research is correct, but that there's 512 homes in the Granada Hills area currently on the market. Do you have inventory to sell, or is it difficult?
It's difficult, and I'm an agent that gets my offers accepted, and I brag about that. But it is difficult at the moment. We have a listing. We have a listing today. You'll for sure going to have 5 offers by this evening, 8, 9 o'clock. That quickly, right?
And mostly above market. Or not above market, but above asking.
Above asking. And in that, you have to be careful because appraisers, they want to see the comparables. So you can have a house that's listed for $400,000. You can't come in because you want it real bad and offer $475 because you want it, because it probably won't appraise.
Just in case you jumped into your car, you're listening to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk, AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335, 888-814-3335, or text the word REFI to 313131.
So Patricia, let me ask you this. In your marketplace, the demographic, there's a significant influence of the Hispanic community, and you're supporting the Hispanic community in your marketplace.
Oh, absolutely.
How do you do that?
Well, advertising in obviously in Spanish, having bilingual agents, having a bilingual broker, many ways. You must be educated and up to speed with all the rules, regulations, guidelines in both English and Spanish, so that you can translate to the Hispanic community.
We talk about this with the disclosures that are on the mortgage side, on the finance side, and for anyone that's absolutely fluent as a first language in English, the forms are difficult to follow. And we obviously publish all of our forms in Spanish as well, but does that present even another layer of confusion when you're having to translate?
A little bit, but you just have to, as an agent, just have to sit down and read them, and so you know what you're translating to the client, whether in English or Spanish. A lot of times in English, I have a client, and I'll just read the whatever the form is about, and they speak English, they read English. We just do it automatically. Same with our Spanish-speaking clients. We show them that the form, they are not going to sit there and read it. We just kind of tell them briefly what the form is, what they're signing, what they're getting into, the legalities of it, and that's it.
I think the practice is so much changing, because for a while there, and I'm hoping that our entire industry is morphing with this change. But we've seen in years past that there was not the focus on the documents that were being signed. It was sign here, sign here, sign here. You're going to get the home. When you get the home, it's going to double in value. And there is almost this Las Vegas kind of, hype to it in terms of, anyone getting into the marketplace is going to make money. And now we certainly see this on the mortgage side. I'm certain you face this on the real estate side, where people are stopping, and this is what you're getting yourself into, and there are disclosures on understanding that.
I think there's so much advertising on television, the news, and it's made everybody, all the buyers and sellers, aware of always read something before you sign it. So it's made a lot of people aware. You don't really get those that just sign here and that's it. Let's move on. You're going to get the home of your dreams. They ask questions. I'm talking your average Hispanic buyer or seller, they ask a lot of questions nowadays.
Even seasoned buyers, ones that have purchased homes before, or are you just finding that for first-time home buyers?
No, you find with both.
Both.
Well, Patricia, this happened with our first home. Why is it not happening with this home? Why are things being done this way? So they're asking a lot.
And I think that's restoring health to the marketplace. I mean, it's just a situation where we encourage our customers to do ask these questions and understand what the process is and what they're exposed to, so that we don't have a situation like we saw come out of the late 2000s where our economic world on the real estate side exploded.
Absolutely. It's no secret. I don't exactly agree with all of our disclosures just because I think it's too much, but I am happy in the direction that we've gone because it's restoring professionalism to our industry, both on the mortgage side and the real estate side. We're here with Patricia Beltran and Jorge Campos from My Real Estate Plaza. Brought to you by Title 365, providing instant access and live status to your real estate transactions. Call Dino and Nelson at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or at thedinoandnelsonshow.com. We'll be right back.
In a chaotic
Welcome back. We're here with Patricia Beltran from My Real Estate Plaza, brought to you by CDA Law Center, providing ethical and accurate counsel for loan modifications. For more information about loan modifications, text the word MOD, M-O-D, to 313131. That's text the word MOD, M-O-D, to 313131, or call Dino and Nelson at 888-814-3335.
Patricia, I'm going to hit you with a question I didn't prepare you for. I wanted the world of modifications, loan modifications. I mean, there's so many people that are trying to get out from higher interest rates and into better terms that they can afford based on how things have changed. In your marketplace, in Granada Hills, are you getting those kinds of questions frequently?
Modifications, my experience is that people want to do a modification either for lack of employment or loss of employment or loss of hours. And from my experience, there really isn't a lot of modifications from the bank's perspective going on.
And so there's a lot of people that need that, but simply aren't getting them.
Exactly. So they have a couple of choices: no loan modification, stop paying, go to foreclosure, do a short sale, or just try to make that payment regardless of how it's being made.
Boy, all of those just sound like excellent choices.
Dino, you know what, Dino, though, this is something that we talk about with our show sponsor, CDA Law Center, and the majority of the people that are contacting them for loan modifications, they're vetted out in terms of they're simply not eligible. So you don't have the consumer that's chasing after rainbows with no chance of seeing their terms modified, and then just focusing on those people that are truly eligible under the HAMP program.
True. And they do happen, though, you guys. It's worth trying. I'll give you an exact testimonial here. Is my sister and her husband. They just got one done. It probably took about 3 to 4 months, I'd say, but they got a 27-year fixed. The first year is going to be at 2%. The year 2 and 3 is going to be at 3%, and then it's going to go to 4.5%, I believe, for the remainder of the years. Pretty great loan modification, yeah.
And allows somebody to have that financial relief to where they can get one nostril above the waterline and go, okay, great. I'm retooled, ready to go and rebuild my finances so I can keep my home.
Yeah, for sure. And it is worth it. If you have any questions on that, text the word MOD, M-O-D, to 313131.
So let me ask you, in your marketplace, you have obviously all three segments represented, but do you see a lot more traditional sales versus foreclosures or short sales, or is it a even mix? What do you find?
No, I see a lot of more traditional sales, which is wonderful. You have the actual seller, the human person, deciding, negotiating, not the bank or an REO
negotiator.
Yeah.
Sure makes things
definitely
a lot easier.
A lot easier, but definitely more traditional sales.
And what about the foreclosures? Are you finding those on the decline, or are they still on the rise?
I believe they're on the decline. Yeah, decline, and you're having more short sales now. It's standard sales, short sales, and bank-owned properties.
We have later in the show a Stump Dino segment, and there's a question that came up from one of our listeners, but I wanted to ask you about this, get your insights. You have somebody that wants to sell their home. They've maintained it. It's a very nice home. It's kept up. It's improved. But next to it on either side, you have homes that are two dogs with fleas that have just, maybe one's being foreclosed on, one is lying vacant. What do you do in that circumstance where the neighborhood is compromised, but the home itself is fantastic?
Well, you just, you just have to get your marketing skills, of the best that you can, and
I'll tell you what you do.
Sell it. Your marketing skills.
You tell the people that the beauty of having homes like this across from you or next to you is that some investor's going to come in, buy them, pour a bunch of money into them, and make them look beautiful again.
Yeah. And there will be improvement in the neighborhood. In my own neighborhood, when the marketplace was first starting to turn down and we're seeing examples of homes that were going vacant and the lawns growing up, and I used to walk my lawnmower down the street and mow the ding-dang lawns just so the neighborhood looked good.
The what lawns?
The ding-dang lawns. What do you call it? Yeah, I was out there with the mower. I just thought it was a nice thing to do.
Well, I'm sure the bank thanked you.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a check in the mail. So, with the short sales, you obviously represent short sales as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that process speeding up? Because I get so frustrated on the finance side where we pre-approve somebody for a short sale, and it seems to be in this hurry up and wait space where you submit the offer and then you're hoping to hear something by Christmas.
Yeah. No, they're improving a whole lot. They're improving. I know my first short sale, it took a year and a half.
Oh, jeez.
Now let's see. I've done one in 3 months, which is I think it's normal now.
It's a reasonable time.
It's a reasonable amount of time. Sure, a normal transaction is 45 to 60 days. So you figure short sale where you have two banks involved for the most part, and you have to get everybody on track. So 3 months is not bad. So it is getting a lot better.
Patricia from My Real Estate Plaza. If you'd like to speak to Patricia, go ahead and call us at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335. Or look on DinoandNelson.com, and you'll have all her contact information. She'll be glad to help you out. Patricia, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you,
for
Patricia.
inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you. Patricia, thank you for listening to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be heard every weekend afternoon, and we can be reached at 888-814-3335.